Everybody, it is September 29th, 2016. It is 5:50 p.m. and I posted what I had so far on my incarceration experience series, and I was asked a very good question. Thank you, Amber. She asked me about the nutrition issue in jails and prisons and whether or not it was as bad as she had heard. To answer your question, yes, it was a big issue. I'll start with, and I don't care doing negative shout outs to the whole incarceration system because they can kiss my ass. They can all line up one at a time. Cuyahoga County Jail is probably one of the nastiest, most disgusting county jails in the state. And it's ironic because it's one of the biggest counties. It's one of the heaviest populated counties in Ohio. And it's the most disgusting. So it's like you'd think with it being so highly populated, they would be getting tax money out the wazoo and be able to actually make it a hospitable place. I mean, granted, people that break the law get sent there, and they get sent there to await their fate, whether or not they get sentenced with prison time or fines or whatever. And here's the thing, the difference between jail and prison, okay? Jail is where you sit awaiting your sentence or if you're serving misdemeanor time. Prison is where you go after you've been sentenced on felony charges. Misdemeanors and felonies are two totally different things, and I don't know the difference between the two. I just know that I managed to commit an F3 felony, which is right in the middle, because there's F1 through 5, and so 3 is like right in the middle, so it was kind of like a 50-50 shot of getting prison. That's what my public defender told me, but anyway, the food in jail. The food in Cuyahoga County, first time I was there, it was very horrible. They didn't season anything, so everything was very bland. They feed you a lot of starches to keep you full longer. And it's cheaper just to hand out, just pieces of bread like crazy. I mean, they would just have loaves and loaves of like ghetto Wonder Bread and just hand it out. There was no wheat bread. Most mornings it was oatmeal, and the oatmeal was so watered down and runny looking. Use your imagination, and it looked like that. Okay, it was gross. And sometimes people would flavor theirs with their Kool-Aid packet instead of mixing their Kool-Aid packet with water. We used to get little packets about yay big of like this artificial Kool-Aid, if you will, diabetic friendly or whatever, and we'd mix it with water or whatever. Sometimes people would throw it in their oatmeal to flavor up their oatmeal, but it just would look so gross. And I was a cleaner, so I got to pick up the trays and clean up the pot after each meal. And that involved picking up trays, and gross. I didn't get any incentive from that other than double portions, and so I gained about a good 20 pounds in jail just from all the bread that I ate. It was gross. And let's see. They couldn't serve us pork because a lot of people have that as a dietary restriction, being Muslim, and that's fine, but I like pork from time to time. I like bacon. I like ham. I just kind of felt it was unfair that we got called out of that. They didn't serve us any kind of peanut butter or anything. They had what was called sweat meat, which is bologna, and I don't know what end of the animal they used, but I don't know. It had pock marks all over it. It was like real oily and sweaty on top. That's why we called it sweat meat. It was gross. And they would serve that as like the bologna sandwiches or what have you. And then they give you like a big dollop of mustard with these really stale potato tortilla chips. I mean, basically, you know, they'd feed you as cheaply as they could. They didn't really care. They would give out, you know, apples or oranges, and a lot of times they were bruised and banged up. Bananas. Sometimes whenever we got fresh bananas, that was a good thing, and sometimes it was with breakfast. They'd give us donuts that had no icing at all. They were just plain fried dough with no sugar, no nothing. I used to take them and either cut them in half or get mine from my Bunky's donut because she didn't want hers, and I would stack two donuts on top of each other with a sliced banana in the middle and make myself a banana sandwich. I mean, you just do different things to just make the food at least look visually appealing enough to be able to stomach it. It was just that bad. And then prison food will be next, because I got cut off last time when I tried to go anywhere past like 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to do this like in two little bite-sized pieces. So prison food coming up right after this.